Dr. Ajamu Loving. I graduated with a PhD in personal financial planning from Texas Tech. I was physically on campus from 2005 till 2008. And in 2009, I defended and became the first person to call himself doctor who's an African-American person with a PhD in personal financial planning. I found the program for Texas Tech in 2004. It was the first educational program that I'd ever found by using an internet search. PhD, financial planning, CFP. That's what I searched. And the only school that came back with graduate level work in financial planning was Texas Tech at that point, and certainly at the PhD level. So we were pioneers in that space, and I got to be a pioneer because of how pioneering Texas Tech was. The first thing that I learned when my plane landed in Lubbock and I drove out of the airport was that tumbleweed was not just in cartoons and cowboy movies, it was real. And that made me a little bit nervous because it did feel like the old Wild West, at least physically to me as I was seeing it for the first time. What happened as I got more comfortable is that I recognized the real strength that Texas Tech has. It's people. I am a people person, and people are more important than things is something that I was taught as a kid. It was drilled into me by both my parents. And so coming to Texas Tech, where people seem to take such good care of other people, it was a great experience for me. I don't know. In fact, no, I should switch that. I do know that there's no way that I could have done this without the support that I received both institutionally from the school, but also institutionally from the corporate partners that helped us out through this overall process. There's a lot to think about, especially when you're a graduate student who's leaving a place of relative comfort to come to a brand new place and do something hard. There's the income that you are foregoing by being in school that you worry about, but then there are also costs associated with the process of getting your education. So for me, the AT&T Chancellor's Fellowship made it so that I didn't have to pay tuition at all. The fact is, not having to worry about having to earn more money made it easier for me to focus on my studies. And me focusing on my studies made it easier for me to achieve and actually become the first Black PhD in financial planning. I'm an associate professor of finance at University of North Texas at Dallas. I taught courses in derivatives, financial planning, in financial management, in all elements of corporate and individual finance, right? And so the open nature of the way in which the graduate school facilitated colleges working with one another made it so that I was able to accentuate my human capital in ways that made me special, because I was qualified then to teach personal financial planning as well as corporate finance, which opened up the business school for me, which opened up vistas towards higher pay, and also put me in a position where I could have the catbird seat to all these new programs that were opening up in programs of finance within colleges of business. There was a program called Red to Black, which focused on financial wellness at Texas Tech. There were external speakers within Red to Black, and I was one of them. So I was practicing doing actual public speaking as a PhD student at Texas Tech, right? And so I was able to leverage a skill set that I was developing at Texas Tech through the fact that I was able to actually do public service for the university instead of having to work outside of the university. And so because of Texas Tech and the way that they took care of me, I was able to cultivate more skill that's helping me take care of others. I would say going to the Jones for football games, going to Chimmy's after football games, going to Chimmy's after class, going to Chimmy's a whole lot and a whole lot of other times. That was kind of my thing. In fact, if you're like, man, I recognize that guy from a long time ago, it was probably at Chimmy's. I think I said earlier that people are more important than things. And that lesson has featured in an overarching way my entire life. And I'm very glad that it was reinforced to me by my parents, but it was even more reinforced at Texas Tech. I was able to not just enjoy the people, but also enjoy the resources of Texas Tech because I felt better taken care of as a person. There is so much to experience in Lubbock and enjoy, and things that I look back on fondly and recognize that there's no way to recreate anything like that. Like they say from here is possible, but there are certain things where from anywhere else, it's impossible. And those things I'm talking about are only possible in Lubbock, Texas, at Texas Tech University.